Hi team, good evening. So in the morning session we stuck with that code, right? So I'll just share my screen. Okay. So whenever you are uploading any of the files, right? So what you have to do is you have to mention the file size. Okay. So this is of 16 MB. Okay, you can increase the size of that particular file also. So that is based on your requirement. So initially I tried with same JSP file. So but I didn't mention this size inside your web.xml file. So here two chances are there. There are two different methods where we can upload the files with the help of the configuration. So where we have to do that configuration. So first of all, then we are going with the this. This is called external web XML file, right? So what we are doing, we are providing the sizes for each case. Okay, so for large data, for middle data, for lowest data, kind of thing. So this is called as configuration inside your web.xml file. So if you don't want to go with the web.xml file, so then you have to do that with the help of MVC model. So here I will just comment it out, MVC model. So that means you have to separate the view model and the controller. So if you are separating those two, then you can easily give the configuration in servlet page itself. Okay. So for example, here I will just explain you line by line code. Okay. So first of all, I have created one table which is called test. Okay. Sorry, the database as a test and the table as image. Okay. Inside that I have created three different fields. So first field is ID, name and data. So directly you can go with the ID and data. Okay. So that is based on your requirement. So since I just want to see what is the name of that particular file or an image, so that is where I am using one more field called name. Okay. So after creating the database, what we have to do, we have to send one image, right? So that is upload image. So I will just run this file. So here you can see I have created one form, right? So which has the action. So after clicking on submit button, where it will remap, that is upload image servlet. So that will map to servlet page. Okay, so just run this. So here you have to select the runtime server, right? After selecting the server, click on finish. So now you can see it is restarted, right? So now you can see this is what the file. So here you have one option called browse. So this is helpful to browse the particular image that is present inside your local storage. Okay, so if you are storing your data or images inside your drives, so that also we can do with the help of existing drives. Okay, so here I will just go with one image. So now you can see, I can see the image name as well as the name along with that upload button. Just click on upload, right? So we will just see inside your MySQL. So here you can see the name of the page. So that is available here. So now we will see what is the code we have to written in order to send the data. So first of all, this is what the servlet name. right? Servlet name in the sense. So after clicking on a particular button, so we are remapped that page into this upload image.servlet, right? So same servlet name we have to provide. If you are separating MVC model, that is your view is different and your controller is different, then you have to give the servlet naming like this. If you are making use of JSP file, so then inside the same file you have both the elements. Okay, so I have created for display image, I have created JSP file only. So this is for configuration, how to do the configuration. So that's in order to give that overview. So I have created two different files. Okay, so after uploading the data, so then we have to fix the size. So that may be based on your requirement. So if you want to increase the size, that also you can do. So since it is a post method, so I will just say the user to upload the image which is less than or equals to 16 mm. So that is where I am giving the binary number of 16 mm. Okay, so after giving that number, what we have to do, we have to write the normal connection. So same whatever the data, whatever the codes we written in the morning session, so same codes we have to write, but the thing is we have to provide the file size. Okay, so once again I will explain. Here you can see, so since it is a servlet page, do post method by default it is available, right? So do get and do post method will be by default, you will get that inside your servlet page. After getting that, so since we are connecting to your database, what you have to do, you have to give the URL name, username and password, correct? So here username is whatever the username you have for your MySQL, that is MySQL username. So you have to provide the username for MySQL, okay, and same password. Okay, so that you have to provide. After doing that, what we are doing, we are connecting to your database. So that we can do with the help of the connectivity, that is JDBC. Here we have load and register, right? So what is after load and register, next we have to go with the connection, right? So since either you can go with the connection like this, or else you can just put this directly. You can provide, you can create the reference variable like this. Both are valid. Okay, so before only you can create a one connection element, so then you can use that connection element. That is also possible. That is up to you. And then after that we have, since we know that connection is an interface, right? So we can't create an object. So for that what we are doing, we are taking the child class, that is driver manager. Inside that child class we have one method called get connection, right? So here whatever the URL and username and password is there, I am making use of them and I am passing the data, right? So these, why we are giving this is for validation. So whether whoever is sending the data, is that valid detail or not, whether he is a valid user or not. If the username or a password is wrong, then the connection will not be established. So that is where we will call it as validation layer. Okay, so after validation we have to provide the syntax for your SQL query. Okay, so here you can see, since we are inserting the images inside your MySQL database, so I am using inside query. So insert into, where I am inserting inside your image. Here we are giving what are the two different fields we have, name and data. So here name externally we are not giving, but by default whenever I am clicking on particular file, so it is taking that name by default, right? So after name, this data is there, so this is called as here, I can mention inside data field, we can add, we can see the binary value. I will show you how that binary value looks like. Okay, so inside that particular data, right? So what we are storing the binary value of the image. After storing the binary values, what we are doing, we are checking with the connection with the parts. So whatever the size you are providing, that is a maximum size, right? So now we have to check that maximum size, right? So 1 second. So since I have used like this, that is just because outside that file, that is tribe block, I have used that connection. So that is where I am reused that itself. Okay. So after writing that, we know that, so we have one predefined class called input stream, which is helpful to send and retrieve the data that is related to your binary large object or a character large object. So that means we can read and retrieve the particular file data, that may be data from characters, retrieve data from the file, that may be characters or image or mp3 or mp4, etc. Okay, so here you can see input stream. So that means we are taking, input means we are taking the data, right? So inside that input stream, what we are doing, we have one predefined method called get input stream. So this is used to take the input data. So here we are using one more element, that is file part. What is this file part? File part in the sense how much data, how much binary element you are sending to your database. So that we are calculating with the help of get parts. Okay, so where we are getting this get parts? So whatever the image you are uploading, right? So what it will do, it will convert that into binary element. So after converting it to binary element, it will store that different parts in the sense, so number of rows and number of columns it will have, right? So pixel depth we call, right? So that calculation it will do, and it will store inside your file part. Okay, after storing that inside your file part, what we have to do, we have to just store that file name. Okay, so whatever the file part dot the remaining thing is there, I'm just storing that inside a file name. And after file name, what we are doing, we are sending that file name to your first column, and whatever the data input stream is there, I'm sending that into your data storage. Okay, so that means get part is basically used to convert your image to binary value with the name of the file, and get submit file name is used to separate the name from your binary values, and get input stream is used to separate whatever the data is there, that is binary values, that will be separated and stored inside input stream. So these three are the important steps in order to convert your image into binary element. Okay, so first we have to go with the file name. Okay, first we have to convert the image into binary element. After conversion to its binary element, what we have to do, we have to separate the name and the binary value. After separating, if you need that name, you can store it, or else you can just use the input element, that is your data binary element. So after that, we are just writing the remaining statements. That's it. So in the morning session, I missed this maximum file length or file size. So that is what the error I got. Okay, so we will just just now we run that, right? So this is what the first upload file is all about. So here what we have to do, what are the changes we need to do. So first of all, we have to check the file maximum size, right? So this we have to take care, that is maximum size of the file. Then conversion from image to binary object. So these are the two different steps that we have to follow to store your image into binary element. Any doubts? Any doubts? If you don't have any doubt, just give me a thumbs up. Okay, so then we will just retrieve the data, like whatever the images you are storing inside your database. So same image we are retrieving, right? So for that, what we have to do, we have to go with the. So after what we have to do, first of all, we have to enter the particular ID, right? So that ID image need to be displayed, right? So that is what the requirement. So now what we have to do, we have to create one JSP file, right? So this is more of like you are sending the data only, but only query need to be changed. Okay. So previously we are writing the query as insert into table name, right? So where ID equals to something, right? So but here what we have to do, we have to take the data. So that is why we are using select query. Okay. So first we have to take one form. Inside that we have to ask the end user to enter the ID. Okay, after entering the ID, click on submit button. So first we will run this, then we will get the UI part. Just see here, so enter image ID. So first you have to ask the end user to enter the image ID, since it is a dynamic from each and every customer, right? So each and every customer need not enter same image ID, right? So that may be differ from one customer to another customer. So that is why we are using prepared statement here. Okay. So first, what are the things we need? We need one label, then one field, input field, then button, right? So same thing we have to implement it. We are implemented with the help of form. Okay. So after entering a form, so after writing some number here, so I will click on display image. So now you can see it is displaying that particular image. So how it is working inside that? So that we have to understand. So first of all, whatever the ID the end user is sending from the front end, first we have to store that inside your Java, right? So we have to create one variable called image ID, and we are storing that ID, whatever the ID we are getting from the front end. With the help of name attribute, we are storing that inside your variable. Okay, after storing that image ID, so we have to check whether the image ID is available or not, right? So whether it is entered or not, so that we have to check. So that is where we are using one if condition. In this if condition, we are checking if the image ID is null. So just see here. So I will just keep the empty image ID and I will click on display. So now nothing is happening, right? But inside a console you will get some error, right? Here you can see for input string empty. So that's what the error we are getting. That means that particular image ID is empty means, so we can't fetch the data from your database. So that error you can provide with the help of else condition. So since I am not handling that, so I am just giving like, so if condition. Okay, so if you need that, you can give that else also. One second. So after this, if you need it, out.println, enter image ID. Save this. Okay, no errors. Refresh. So first we will check whether else part is working or not. Okay, it is not working. Go to inspect option, console. Okay, so here also it is not working. But at least we can go with the system.out.println, save this, refresh. So same error we are getting, but else part is not executing. 1 second, let's check that. Input dot close. Okay, so I will just comment it out. We will see that. Okay. So once we are entering the image ID here, the 4, okay. So now we are getting the image. So that means first we are checking image whether the given image ID is exist inside a table or not. If it is not exist, so then we have to display else part